can a couple stay 6 months no sex, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and they live together under the same roof? Of course, there won't be peace. There will be issues.
Now real life situations we dey talk about without sugar coating at all at all. This program you dey watch so. Now real life situations we dey talk about without sugar coating at all at all. It's real life matters. Oh no, it's real life matters. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's real life matters with Anita Abe.
Hi, and welcome to your favorite program, Real Life Matters. This is a program where we talk about real life situations without sugarcoating them. We say them the way they are. We analyze and tackle issues that need to be tackled. My name is Anita Abe. I remain your host. And today's episode is sex in marriage. This is a topic a lot of married couples shy away from. Nobody wants to talk about sex in marriage. And sex is an important attribute in every marriage. It should be talked about before you enter into the marriage and when you are into the marriage. Sex should be a topic that should be discussed between husband and wife. You should know what this one like, what this one's like, what turns your partner's fantasy. You understand? So all these things should be talked about. Sex should be a priority in every marriage. No wonder a wise man once says, a house where the bed bangs every night, you hardly see them fight. How can a couple stay 6 months no sex, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and they live together under the same roof? Of course, there won't be peace. There will be issues. So situations like that, the man can just come out from nowhere and say, I'm proud to introduce my son to you, my child to you, I love them the way I love. No. So issues like that can be minimized. So sex in every home is important. A lot of women, they see sex as just a means of childbearing. No. Sex should be a pleasure in the home. It should be enjoyable. You have to enjoy sex. You have to take sex like a business. Just the way you are serious with your job, your business, taking care of your kids. Sex shouldn't be left behind. You have to give it that attention for your family or your marriage to survive. Sometimes some will tell you, if you like, you do doggy, you do jaggy. If you put your leg up, you do this, that. A man that will stay is a man that will stay. But sorry to burst your bubbles. Sex actually limits infidelities in marriage. If you think sex is not important, why do you see women who are married to billionaires and at the end of the day they start having an affair with their gate man? What are they looking for? What thing that they find? It is sex, that pleasure, that intimacy. They want to enjoy it. Just the way a man needs to be satisfied in bed, also a woman needs to be satisfied in bed. So these issues should be discussed among spouses so that they can have a healthy relationship. Any marriage where there is no sex is not a healthy relationship. I know a lot of people talk about sexless relationship. We'll go into that. That's a topic on its own. But in every marriage, sex is encouraged. All right. As you go older in marriage, sex should not become boring. In short, it should become more satisfying because you've known your spouse like the back of your hands. You know his likes, you know his dislikes, you know what turns him or her off. So it should become more satisfying and more interesting. And how do you make it more satisfying and more interesting? 1, communicate about sex. Talk to your husband about sex. Know what he likes. Know what he doesn't like. Knows what turns him up. 2, don't always wait for him to make the move. Sometimes you have to initiate the move. You don't always have to wait for your spouse to initiate it. Take the lead. Put on something nice and sexy. Then you start it and see where it leads. thirdly, you have to always take good care of yourself. Don't say, okay, he has known me all this while, we've been together, whether I'm neat, I'm not neat. No, you have to take care of yourself. Take a nice bath, spray nice body spray, use this seductive spray, and so that when he sees you, he cannot resist you. Do you understand? So those are the things those girls out there do that makes it looks as if they are going outside young girls. But once they have that in the house, they won't even think of that. Who is that girl now? So it is what they like most times in the house. That's what they go outside to look for. Of which that I'm not justifying their action. Infidelity is infidelity. I'm not justifying their action. But these things can be put in place to minimize such act or infidelity. So for the men who always act busy, they're always busy, they go to work, they come back, they don't have time for their wife, they want to provide everything. You keep providing, no, then the gate man will be enjoying what you've paid for. So you have to make a decision. As you provide, also provide that intimacy that your wife needs. That intimacy should be there. Never you neglect it. So I know a lot of activities in our life. So this sex shouldn't be at the last of the list. It should be prioritized. Sometimes when you want to go out for work, you can just pause and do one for the road. Do you understand? You're like, let's take this and one for the road. You can be cooking, the food will be in the kitchen. You say, okay, before the food gets done, you have a nice time, then you complete the cooking. So things like that actually spice up the relationship. So sex in marriage should never be underestimated. You shouldn't see it as the least important. In short, prioritize it. Make it the number one in the list. Those days, our parents will say, the way to a man's heart is a good food. These days, the way to a man's heart, food is part of it, but a good sex is a way to a man's heart. When you give it to the man, anything you tell him to do, he will do it for you. Same also. A man, once you give it to your wife, once you tell your wife, do this one, do this, the wife will obey. So sex is one thing in marriage. It is important. We should never look down on it. And also, for women who don't enjoy sex in the marriage, I think the mindset has a lot of play here. Because some people will say they don't enjoy sex in marriage. All they know is that sex is to give birth. No, never. So that mindset has to be corrected. You need to start watching movies. You can watch seductive movies with your partner. It's going to give you that feel that you want as a woman to enjoy your husband. You have to have that mindset that sex should be enjoyable. Once you have that mindset, you work towards it. There are some CDs that can help you boost your sex life. Do you understand? There are some movies, some CDs that can help you boost your sex life. And when you talk to your spouse can also help you boost your sex life. So sex in marriage should be enjoyed by everybody, be it a man or a woman. And it should never be underestimated. Sex can make a home or break a home. Don't be surprised. Most of these marriages out there that are broken, what is the cause? You'll be surprised to know that lack of sex was the cause of that breakup. Okay, here's a message from Okoyemi Johnson. What if the man is very tired and the woman is in damn need of sex at that moment? What will happen? Okay, very nice and interesting question. Okay, what if the man is tired and the woman is in damn need of sex? This is where compromise comes in. One person will have to compromise. Okay? It's either the woman will let go or the man will try to satisfy the wife. So compromise has to come in. But if the man is always playing, I'm tired, that's where I said sex should be prioritized. You have to have a plan for sex. You have to have a list to do. We know you go to work every day. So sex shouldn't always be the last thing You are tired for a whole month, no sex with your wife, all in the name of you are tired. It's a lame excuse. So, as a man that is busy, you have a tight schedule, it's advisable you make your plan list. Sex shouldn't be the bottom of that list. It should be prioritized. It should be one of the most important thing, okay, to do. You can do it in the morning before you go to work. It must not be at night when you come back. So you don't have excuse. So you have to satisfy your wife when she needs it. All right. Then as a woman, also, if you are tired, same goes to you. You have to have a plan list. You can start giving signal from during the day. You start sending seductive messages to your husband like, I'm waiting for you, I can't wait to have you tonight, I can't wait to eat you, stuff like that. Then you see the man, instead of the man to close around 6, around 4 he will pack, he will start running down, he want to come and eat the wife. So things like that, they are very important in marriage. It helps boost the marriage, it helps them grow. So you send signal messages, you send messages, you have it on your plan list. Next question. This question is from Favor Maduka. It says, what if the woman does not love sex, does not like sex, and the man loves sex like food? So what should the woman do? And the man is always demanding for sex. That's a very nice question. What if the woman does not love sex? Fine. Sometimes from upbringing, from what our parents tells us, they coach us, they make us to see sex like something we should dread. They'll just tell you sex is not good. You know, those sex education, they give us the wrong orientation from childhood. So that thing sticks down to the brain. Even when you are married, you'll be scared to have that sex. You have, because you already have hatred or dislike for sex. You now turn those married women that are just like, just do and go. Do you understand? So situations like this, you have to correct your mindset. Do you understand? You have to change your way of thinking. You need to start liking it. You need to start reading books that will make you love sex or develop interest for sex. Because sex is supposed to be pleasure. It's not something you should be scared of. By the time you start understanding sex and knowing about sex and having that interest in it, you start correcting your mindset. Before you know, you start developing interest for sex. You start loving sex. Before you know, you'll be the one even initiating the sex. At the end of the day, you might even become the lover of sex, the master. You have PhD degree in it. So first of all, you have to correct your mindset. Once the mindset is corrected, every other thing will put into place. Thank you for watching. It's been a very great episode. So on the next episode on sex and marriage, we are going to be inviting 2 couples live in this studio. It's going to be a wonder-packed episode. Okay, stay tuned and don't forget to follow us on our social media handle. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, like, subscribe, and comment. Any questions you have, you can send it to any of our social media platforms. I'll be there to answer you. The handle is on the screen. Thank you. My name remains